These pieces, well, I guess these pieces started like kind of last year. I was really interested in the whole idea of the internet and what its basis was, and the idea of multiple images and videos and repetitive nature, where it's like everyone has the same image, everyone has the same concept. It's very like click, 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 click. You know what I mean? So I kind of was trying to figure out a way of not playing that same thing, but also addressing the fact that like this happens where it's like we're expected to look a certain way because we have a certain stamina within our facial expression. So I don't know, I just kind of like ended up taking photos of things that were not necessarily attractive and not necessarily appreciated, and people go out into the nightlife and they take pictures constantly, and they're taking all these digital images and posting them and feeling like it's like, okay, like this is what I'm doing in my life, and like that's explaining your lifestyle, but it's not. And you're actually not interacting with those people that you were taking those photos with. You don't know who they are, you don't know what they were about, blah, blah, blah. Like, you might, but not usually. So, I don't know, that's kind of like where it started, and it's kind of like progressed into something else. The paintings I have here are similar concepts, where that's the idea they were came from. Kind of like an evolution of stuff. Those are digital. I usually shoot film, but those were digital, yeah. Actually, I'm a painter. I started painting when I was really young. That was kind of like my main media when I came to Ottawa U. But then I got into photography, and that was really cool, and like really wanted to learn more about it, because it's like, I didn't really know anything about it at all. I was like fresh off about this kind of thing, you know. But yeah, I don't know. Painting is a way to like express yourself and kind of not to create something that hasn't already been created. A photo is to create something. It's more like a documentation of something that has already happened, or that is happening, and it's more that kind of thing. So I don't know. It's interesting. They're like very different, but very similar. They're all different creative like motives. I've participated in quite a few other shows before. So I thought of you and outside of it. I did have my own solo show in the café last month, but I don't know. I've been in a couple shows before, but this is more an independent thing because I've helped organize them, and it's more like by myself. There's always that like you are like totally in the moment when you're thinking. It's like no, not necessarily. I mean, this one was one of the first ones that I shot. It was kind of, it's a way to like find like a beautiful image and something you wouldn't normally shoot. There's a lot of like, it's kind of like a different perspective on like photographing like a nightlife or something like that. My purpose wasn't to photograph the nightlife. I've been asked multiple times, like, are you doing a progression through the night and like that kind of thing? And it's like, no, not really. I was just trying to capture those moments that normally would not be captured. The ones that like you may be at your vulnerable moment where you wouldn't necessarily want to be shown. You wouldn't want someone else to see that photograph. And then display it and produce it in a way that is kind of beautiful. These might not necessarily show them as much as like some of the others within the series I have, but yeah, I mean it was the start of something that I was intrigued about, because it's like I was very frustrated with this like constant production of images that were pointless and annoying. So it's really like 2 seconds look upon and then forget about it. And it's like photography for me is something that's like you're documenting something for a reason. You're showing something for a reason, and you have to know what that reason is. And it's like furthering what it is that people are always portraying. And for me, it was like, it might sound like bullshit, but it's totally like, and you know what? It's like totally an evolution of like, I don't know, 2 months I might feel like, oh, I was totally like full of shit when I said that, but I don't know. It's an exploration of trying to find something that is beautiful, and can be appreciated, but at the same time is thought about. And it's like maybe that thought about it is like, well, it was just a good time, or it was like you just so happen to capture a beautiful moment. I've been working with this concept. I'm still very interested in it. I have a couple of things that I've been working on as well. Totally different. Totally different. But yeah, it's just like I feel like it's a constant thing you're working with. A constant thing where you're like changing your perspective, and like the school is not. One of the best pieces of advice I've ever gotten from a professor was, you are in university, you're in school, the point is not to become a genius, it's to further your knowledge and kind of explore those things you would never have gone about. It sounds super cheesy, but it's true in the fact that like some of the stuff you produce is not going to be fantastic and it's not going to be great, but the point is to like keep doing it, you know, and like keep producing work and keep figuring out what it is that you're trying to figure out. Actually, speaking of the like fantastic show that we're throwing, I'm the social of the arts faculty here at Ottawa U, so that's like something entirely different. Throwing a bunch of like really great events, but with Gaska, who organizes the café, the two of us are kind of like teaming up, and we're throwing this huge like circus burlesque show.
Sweet, when's that?
That's September 9th. It's gonna be outside on the street, kind of like a block party. We're developing the name. It's gonna be a lot of like local artists with their pieces shown on Compton, on like on Nostalgia, big spotlight kind of thing. We're having Shared Vision, which is part of like our Pride Center, have a drag show, and then we're having the New Feel Experience from LA come and do like a big burlesque circus show. It's gonna be very, very cool. Yeah, graffiti artists everywhere. It's gonna be very, very fun.
Check it out for sure.
Yeah, definitely check it out. It's gonna be public. I mean, like there's gonna be lots of food, beer, and all those kinds of things as well, but